What's going on, foodie fam? Today we're doing an avocado soup, so let's get it. All right, so the first thing we want to do with this avocado soup, we want to take all our vegetables and we want to roast them, except for the cilantro. So we don't need to roast the cilantro, people. We have our poblano peppers. We're gonna roast them real quick. This is gonna take a second, couple minutes, depending on your grill, or if you want to do it on coal, you can do it on coal. Just it's a lot more mess, but once you get a good char on the outside of it, you're gonna put it in a plastic bag. I got some serrano peppers. I would tell you don't use any peppers right here, some jalapenos or anything like that, unless you take the seeds out. Once you take the seeds out, it won't be as hot. So if you're gonna use any kind of pepper, please make sure you take the seeds out. If not, it'll be way too hot. Okay, so I needed a little bit of oil on these corn just to kind of get the color on the corn that I'm looking for. But it took a couple minutes. Once I got the peppers right in there, threw that in a Ziploc bag, and then I got my corn. See, the eyes that I was working with weren't working well, so got the color I was looking for. So now I'm gonna place it in the bag for a second, and then after we get it in the bag, we are going to go ahead and bring it to the chopping board. Now, what I like to do with corn is I like to cut a small end of it just so I can get a flatter surface, and then I put it on the side, and then I go ahead and I shuck the corn. Making sure you don't hit your fingers, cut your fingernails or anything like that. Just shucking the corn. That's all you're doing. So now we got the poblano peppers. We're gonna go ahead and chop that. And we have the serrano peppers. Now this is where you actually want to take the seeds out of those small peppers or jalapenos. You don't want it too spicy, but if you can get the flavor of the pepper, that would be great. I'm gonna take all these. You really don't need to cut everything down to small pieces. There's some garlic, a little quarter of an onion, raw onion. You can grill the onion, you can saute it whichever way you want to do it. It's no problem. And I have some stock, a little bit of vegetable stock. This was all the ends and bits that I had from there, and I just used that as my liquid. And now I'm gonna pulse that real quick, get it to a smooth consistency. And now I'm gonna add my avocados. Now I would say this, 3 avocados, you do not need 3. I would use 1, possibly 2, but not 3. 3 was just a little too thick. I do want mine a little runny, but if you like it thicker and you wanna more of a heartier dish, you can go ahead and add more avocados to it. It'll be very thick, but I prefer it a little runny. So I added 3. Shouldn't have done that. So listen, we all make mistakes, and this is the one thing that we all have to learn from. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter if you work in a restaurant, doesn't matter if you work from home. Everything is trial and error. You want to try and see what works for you and go from there. So not everything you make is going to be perfect, but this was like my first time making this soup. I've seen it before and I made some changes to it, but this was actually really good. It tasted perfect. And now right now I'm just trying to get the consistency right because like I said, I think I put too many avocados in there and it was just way too thick. So next time I'm gonna do this dish, I'm gonna do it probably with 1, maybe 1.5. And I'm actually gonna add some lime juice in here. I did not add lime juice in this one, right? This recipe, but I will next time add lime juice. So first thing is I got some granulated garlic and onion powder and cumin, and I'm going to add that into the mix. And I am tasting consistently. So here's some cumin there and a little bit of salt. I'm gonna taste it. So you have to taste your food. A lot of times what happens is people will be like, oh, I know what it tastes like. No, you don't. You need to know what everything tastes like while you're cooking. Just a little taste every single time, just to make sure the flavor is going through properly. Now, since the soup is already ready to go, with these street taco tortilla strips, the corn, and we're going to cut them up into small little strips. Now, with these small little strips, we're going to have a little bit of oil, and you don't need a whole bunch of oil, just a little bit of pan oil in a small pan. And you're going to take this and we're going to add this into the fryer. So I'm going to fry this real quick. Now, you can put this on medium or high. This is going to fry real quick if you have it on high. So pay attention, make sure you're right there, move it around a little bit, and it should take about 30 seconds or so. You can pull it out right now, just put it on the side. Now, also what I found out is you can actually add some of these tortilla chips or tortilla strips into the soup itself. Instead of using a whole bunch of avocados to thicken it, you can use tortilla strips to thicken it. And I have some cilantro I'm just going to chop up as a topping. So, all right. So now we just pour the soup down, add our tortilla strips, put a little of that roasted corn and a little cilantro, and you're done. Let's go.